The sun may be hiding at the time of this eclipse, but sometimes things behind the scenes are more powerful than what we can see on the surface. Welcome back, Astro fam. We are breaking down the total solar eclipse, the new moon in Aries, happening on April 8th. I don't think there's enough words in the three languages that I speak that can truly describe this energy, what we're going to be experiencing around this time, but I'm going to do my best in today's video to help break it down, make it make sense for you, remembering that I come from the lens of having better relationships. If you don't know me, I'm Mandy Rose. I'm a relational astrologer, which essentially means that when I'm looking at the cosmic weather, I'm putting it in a lens to ultimately help you have better relationships because we understand the current cosmic weather and the energy that we're under the influence of. And so we're really going to be navigating that today. I'm going to heavily be focusing on our relationships because ultimately Aries is the relationship we have with ourselves, our identity, our persona, our avatar, and how we want to show up in the world. And the way in which we show up affects directly the way in which people relate to us. And so this is a big, big, powerful time in the cosmic weather where we can really start new, where we can be bold and brave and fearless. So as we move through this video, what I'm going to do is first give you some of the basics, the overview, things that we have to see from a higher perspective. Then I'm going to give you my 5 fun facts. That's my favorite part of the video, but today I'm only going to do 3 because like I said, there is so much to talk about with this eclipse and I can't have this video being 3 hours long. So I'm going to give you the 3 fun facts that makes this new moon in Aries unique to 2024. Then we're going to dive into the specifics. I'm going to pull up the chart. So if you have your birth chart handy, please go ahead and grab that because I'll be giving you the degree points that the eclipse is happening at and the other planets. Then you can look in your chart to see how it's directly impacting you. And then to sum it all up, I'll be giving you some activities and rituals that you can do around the time of this new moon total solar eclipse to work with this energy. Going to just say this right now. This is not a time to set intentions. This is not your typical new moon ritual. So if you typically make moon water, if you typically set intentions, whatever you do normally around new moons, we are going to ex-nay that. We are going to shift that into something else because this is an eclipse. So it's not your typical new moon energy. It's very volatile. So we want to be careful with what we're doing around this time. So I'll help you navigate that. And then lastly, to wrap it all up, I'll go through all the rising signs, breaking down specifically what relationships in your life may be affected, maybe getting this total eclipse, maybe getting a big shift and change depending on your rising sign. So much to talk about today. So I want to just start diving in right away with this energy of Aries, because in order to truly understand this total eclipse, we first have to bring it down to the foundational basic energy we're going to feel. And that's Aries energy. We are in the astrological new year. The sun is in the energy of Aries, shining upon us, bringing us that heat and vitality of Aries. So what is this energy? Not only is the sun here, but we also have 6 other celestial bodies at the time of this solar eclipse. So we got to understand this energy. What is the energy of Aries? Now, Aries is Mars ruled, okay? So when we think of Mars, we think of warrior, we think of passion, we think of aggression. It is a fire sign, so we are thinking of boldness. I like to think of the fire energy of Aries as symbolized as a spark, right? That initial aha moment. And so it's the beginning of the astrological year where we take that spark, the initiation, the action, we pursue something, we go for something. It is this desire to move forward in life from our heart's truest desire, from our needs, our wants, that deep, innate, inner knowing of this is for me. Now, I also like to think of Aries energy of the toddler under 7, right? Bold, brave, and fearless. Think of this energy of a toddler. How do they act? How do they behave? When they are in the grocery line and they're checking out and they see a bar of candy that they want, they will kick and scream. They don't care what anyone else thinks, right? That's Aries energy. If their ball rolls across the street, they are running after that ball. They're not looking for cars. It's act first, think later. If they have something to say, they're going to say it, no filter. They don't care how it's going to affect other people, right? They are literally fearless and bold and direct. These are the energy profiles that we are being asked to step into at this new moon in Aries every single year. But this year, with it being a solar eclipse, we are 10xing that. We are taking it to a whole nother level as it being a solar eclipse. And then we add in the fact that this is going to be a total eclipse, a total blackout, a moment of resetting where everything gets dark for a second and the lights come back on and a new scene is before us. And that new scene is Aries, stepping into our toddler under 7. The other energy that we can really think of when it comes to Aries is this main character energy. I've been talking about this so much. Aries is I am. Everything starts with me. This is the energy of putting on your own oxygen mask first, staying in your own lane, cleaning up your own backyard. Main character energy. And this total eclipse is asking us to turn out the lights on the things that don't shine a spotlight upon you in your life, being your own main character, of putting your own oxygen mask on. This is huge and this is so important. So really, really need to understand this Aries energy. It is passionate. It is a warrior. It is going to fight for what it believes in. So this is what we're feeling at this time. Now, like I mentioned, we have 7 celestial bodies in the energy of Aries at the time of this solar eclipse. Now, if we just had the sun and the moon and the north node here as an eclipse, that would be powerful enough. But now you add in all these other planets, all these other what I like to call life coach energies to this cosmic weather event, it makes it more potent. It brings more lessons. It brings more shifts. It brings more ways in which we have to really embrace and embody this energy for us to move forward into the next chapter, right? We are in the astrological new year. We are starting new. We have 12 zodiac sun seasons to get through before we come back to Aries next year. So there are things that have to progress. And in order to truly embody this energy, we have to be more curious, more enthusiastic, more open to exploration and trying new things. We really do have to put on our brave face, our big girl panties or big boy pants, whatever you want to say. This is the time we have to step into that. And we have to get rid of this negative perception of being selfish. This is a time where we have to be selfish. We have to say, you know what? It's up to me to save me, not anybody else. And that takes energy and thought and planning about you first and foremost. So to really embrace and embody this, ultimately, I'm going to say be selfish, be brave, be bold, be open, and be willing to take action, even if you are scared shitless. Okay? Because eclipses, remember, happen to us. It is when external circumstances around us are set up in our path, in our experience, to change something in our reality, to get us back on track with our own personal north node, our own personal soul's mission. Now, that's based on your unique birth chart. We can look that up in a private session, but each one of us has our own north node, our own destiny, our own path that we're supposed to be following on a soul level. And when we get off track, an eclipse comes around to have an external circumstance shift us back into our direction, into our path. And so pay attention around this time. Where are you being asked to change direction or to move towards something that seems so scary? But you have to be brave and bold. You have to step into your main character, and you might have to be hella selfish at this time. So that's how we're moving through this energy. Now, last thing I want to say about Aries is hot, right? So it rules inflammation. It can create heat in the body, heat in our life. Inflammation in our life, that's relationships, that is physically, that can be circumstantially, that could be in our budget, like whatever. And also understanding that Aries rules the body part of the head and the blood. And so these may be things that we're seeing collectively and personally needing our attention. Okay, so I'm just going to leave it at that. There's so much I could dive deeper into that. So let's start out with the basics. When is this eclipse happening? It is happening on April 8th at 2:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So adjust that for your time zone. Now remember, that's the time of the exact new moon. That is not necessarily the time of the exact eclipse experience. Okay, those are two separate different things cosmically and astronomically. So when the time of the new moon is exact is 2:21 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Now, depending on where you are within the world or within the United States specifically, that time of seeing the eclipse, whether it's total or partial, is going to change depending on your location. So you're going to want to just Google that and look that up. Now, it is happening at 19 degrees and 24 minutes of Aries. So with that, I'll pull up the chart here real quick. We can see the sun and the moon at 19 degrees and 24 minutes. So check your birth chart. Do you have any planets within a 3-degree orb of that? So anywhere from 16 degrees of Aries all the way up to 22 degrees of Aries. If you do, this new moon, total solar eclipse, is impacting you very heavily. Now we can see that we have a triple conjunction here. Not only is the sun and the moon at this degree, but we have Chiron at this exact same degree. We're going to talk more about that in just a moment in this video, but that is very significant, very unique, and very, very rare. So that is just adding more potency to the message of what we're supposed to be learning and moving through and embodying at the time of this new moon. And then like we could see, we have this total stellium, total pileup of energy in Aries that we're going to break down one by one. So with that, I want to really dive in deeper to what I specialize when it comes into the astrological weather, and that is relationships. How is this new moon in Aries, total solar eclipse, impacting our relationships, and why? And what are we supposed to do about it? Let's go back. We have the North Node in Aries, the North Star, the energy we're meant to focus on and give more attention to. The South Node in Libra, what we are leaving behind, where we are cutting away, what we are releasing to move closer towards the North Node. This is a new moon in Aries, next to the North Node, saying, come here, new beginnings, new fresh starts, and this being fated and destined and forced upon us through external circumstances. Aries rules me, I am. And Libra rules we, the group, the collective, the connection, the people in our lives that we form this deep bond with. And so at this time, we are kind of leaving those bonds behind. We are leaving others kind of in the place that they need to be so we can focus more on me, myself, and I, the main character, being a little bit more selfish. This is so important to understand at this time. So I just want to really help you understand the relationships in our life around the time of this new moon solar eclipse are going to be coming up with deep, deep questions. Deep questions to decide, where am I going in these relationships? Are they where I want them to be? This is very fated, very destined, very karmic. And we want to add in an element to this, and we'll talk more about this in the specific, but the ruler of Aries, the life coach planet that rules where this eclipse is going to be happening, is Mars. He's the landlord. And at the time of this new moon, he is smack dab next to Saturn and in a square to Uranus. So the ruler of this whole energy is next to Saturn saying, tough love, be disciplined, be careful what you're committed to. Do you have a strong foundation? And the ruler, Mars, being in a square to Uranus saying, break it if you have to. If it can't come into the future, it ain't coming into the future. This is very volatile. This is very left field energy. This is very much like hitting home. This is what's happening, okay? So remember, the energy is I am. Who are you without the label and the attachment to other people? This is so important for all of us collectively right now. Your label is not a wife, a brother, a mother, a friend, a coworker, an employee. We're going to strip those labels at this time because labels only bond you and tie you to another person. Libra. Let's get rid of those. Who are you without the label? So for example, if I am not a wife, who am I? I'm Mandy. Okay, what does that mean? I am someone who does this, who likes that, who desires these dreams, who wants to accomplish this, right? We have to stop worrying about the tie or the connection of what the other person expects of us and show up and say, what do I expect of myself? If you are a wife or a husband, right, then you kind of have to tweak your dreams and your goals for the collective, for the whole, for both parties. One person may want to move to Spain, and you know that if you want to move to Spain and your partner can't come with because of their job, you don't move to Spain to persevere or hold on to the relationship. This eclipse is saying no more of that. How badly do you want to move to Spain? And are you willing to compromise that for the rest of your life? There could be so many aha moments in relationships at this time that lead to divorce, that lead to breakups, that lead to a parting of ways. But I don't want you to take that as negative, and I don't want you to freak out. The beauty of this is we just had Mars and Venus in conjunction just last month around Valentine's Day. Remember this? And Mars and Venus are lovers of the zodiac, right? Mars is the ruler of this energy. And he prepared us and said, hey, we are combining the feminine and the masculine in an energy of Aquarius, which allows us to be unconventional, authentic to our truth, and do things in a way that feels good for us and the way in which we want to be in this partnership. And it doesn't have to look like tradition says it does. And so maybe that prepped us for this eclipse, saying, oh my gosh, I really don't want to give up this dream and this desire for the sake of the relationship. And either the relationship's going to make it or it's not, but I need to do this. And luckily, with Mars and Venus and Aquarius, and this being the new cycle we're going to be under in our relationships for 2 years, it's saying we don't have to break up. We don't have to get divorced. I can go to Spain and I can live out my dreams and I can try that out and see if I even like it. I may not like it. I may come back and then great, we're back on track. Or maybe I go there and I live there for a year and you decide you love it there and you quit your job and you come join me. And great, we continue the relationship. Or I'm going to try it out for a year or two and we decide that we are in separate paths and it's been kind of this, parting of ways, and that's okay too. And everyone wins. So this energy that we're going to feel in our relationships as people step into me and my main character and my selfish energy is not at the detriment of the relationship or the people within the relationship. It's allowing each person to go to their heart's truest desire in an authentic way, in a way that needs to happen, in a way that we've been sacrificing so long because of the wounds and the traumas that we've all been holding collectively and independently in Libra, where the South Node is, where we're cutting things away, right? People pleasing, codependency, needing to be loved, wanting to be a part of a group or a partnership because I don't want to do it alone. Fear of being alone, fear of being seen for your true authentic self, fear of saying, I'm not a wife, I'm me. And whoever I become is my choice. Now remember, as these relationships are going through these sudden shifts, the sun and the moon, the eclipse is exact Chiron. So we're doing the healing that is necessary, the healing in Aries, me, stepping up for me, prioritizing me, asking for my needs, wants, and desires to be met, getting more clear with what those are in a healing way. We are healing this wound of identity, and we are healing the wound of people pleasing and being selfish. This is so big at this time. There is going to be a lot of bonds, a lot of karma being broken in a way that is going to allow all of us to shine a little brighter and all of us to step more into the life that we desire. And hopefully with the people that we're with. But if it's not, it's okay. It's going to feel healing for everyone involved. So here are some questions I want you to ask. These are some journal prompts that you can write down and reflect on, especially around the time of this new moon. As we're experiencing this ecliptic energy, these are kind of the themes that are going to be coming up. So you'll have these journal prompts to sit and be present and reflect upon. The first one is, how am I showing up to each relationship in my life? I want you to give it a score, 1 to 10. How much energy are you putting into it? Are you just physically there, but you're not fully there? Then maybe it's a 4. But maybe you're doing everything for this relationship. You're reaching out. You're buying them gifts. You're telling them you love them. You are giving it your all. You're at like a 9. Then I want you to look at how much you're getting. How much are they giving? And sometimes you might have to ask them. So I've done this with my partner. Where are you at in this relationship? How willing are you to give to it on a scale of 1 to 10? Where are you at currently? And sometimes it's like, I'm at a 3. I got a lot of work going on. I can't show up. I'm exhausted. I got health stuff going on, but you have a number from them. And if you can't get a number from them, then tap into it intuitively and look at what you're giving and what you're receiving and see if Libra, that balance is there. Okay. Number 2, who are you giving your attention to? This is going to be so important at this time, right? If we are supposed to be our own main character and we're supposed to put our own oxygen mask on, are you giving too much attention to other people that maybe don't need it? So I'm going to give you an example. Oftentimes when I work with clients, they tell me that there's someone in their life that pulls their energy. Maybe it's a sister who has multiple kids and they're always going over there to babysit and help them clean their house. But yet in their own life, their health is falling apart, their marriage is falling apart. Like they have all this stuff in their own life that they are neglecting because they are showing up too much for the other person. So their attention is going to something that they don't need it to. Or even in romantic relationships, oftentimes we give our attention to coworkers, friends, social media, other things, and not our partner. And we take them for granted and we don't cherish them. Who are you giving your attention to? I want you to literally think in your life around the time of this eclipse as you journal, who is the number one person or thing that I give my time and attention to? And give it label it, everyone in your life. And then look at where you need to reprioritize and recategorize. For me, sometimes I get in these habits where I scroll a lot and I give so much energy and my attention to social media when my partner's right there or my friends are a phone call away, right? So just reprioritizing where you're giving your attention. The next journal prompt is going to be about yourself, your avatar, your identity. Who are you without the labels? I already brought this up, but I really want you to sit with this. Who are you if you are not an employee, if you're not a, significant other, if you're not a mother? Like, who are you? Take all of it away. You're on a deserted island. Who are you? What do you like? What's your dreams? What's your goals? Where are you going? What you doing? How you dressing? Like, who would you be if no one told you how to be? How would you show up? Because that's what we're birthing at this new moon. This is a total solar eclipse. Blackout, lights come back on. Who are you? How are you going to show up? Oftentimes we dress in a way that our partner would like, or oftentimes we put on certain clothes because we're a PTO mom and we don't want the other parents to think of us as a certain way, or we show up in our professional life a certain way because we want to be seen as someone with authority. Like, that is exhausting and that is draining. So right now we're going to say, who am I and how do I want to show up? Because this is who I am. So we're going to see this within ourselves shifting and a lot of the people around us. Now, the other thing I want you to just remember around this time is that no one is more important than you. Okay? No one is more important than you. This is putting your own oxygen mask on. There are people in our life that need to do things for themselves. You cannot be their rescuer. You cannot be their savior. You cannot be the one to help them. Sometimes we have to take that step back into our own main character energy. They need to step up into their own main character energy, and this eclipse is going to force that upon us. There is going to be, again, external circumstances that make people recognize that it is time for you to take care of you. We cannot let the banks take care of us, the government take care of us, our friends take care of us, our significant other take care of us. This is time for us to take care of us and find that power, the warrior, right? Mars, the warrior. Aries, our chi, our stamina, our life force, our bravery, our independence. All this fire in the sky is meant to influence us, to step into this main character and their survival on our own needs dependent on us. Toddler under 7. It wants a candy bar. It will kick and scream till it gets the candy bar. Sometimes we need to embrace that energy and say, I have it within me to get everything I desire. So let me start acting that way. Let me start doing things that bring that into my life. So really, this is going to be about exploring our people-pleasing, our codependency, the way in which we rely on others to give us advice, give us opinions, tell us how to do things. Like, this is time to kind of break that away. And on the flip side, we want to take it to that selfish level, but I want you to also look at maybe where you are being selfish or independent based on unhealed wounds. We do have Chiron here. So there is a level of being selfish and stepping into our main character, but we can take it to an unhealed level. Fear of commitment, fear of trusting others, fear of allowing people to get close. And if that's the case and that's why you're being selfish, well, that's going to come up as well. But for most of us, it's about getting away from self-sacrificing and being codependent and stepping into our own needs, wants, and desires. So it's a very deep, heavy relationship energy we're experiencing. Remember, this is not just romantic. This is relationships across all levels. The relationship you have with your boss, that you have with employees, that you have with clients, that you have with friends, with your bank, with someone that owes you money, with your neighbors, with anyone that you are in a contract with, anyone that you are in a energetic dynamic with. So lots of shifting. I want you to really focus on the I am, and to kind of take it to that next level of understanding is that we have the ruler Mars in Pisces next to Saturn. And so the energy in which we are moving and making decisions and reacting and stepping forward, right? Mars taking action is in this Piscean way, with love, with compassion, with empathy, with forgiveness. And so while all these relationship shifts are happening, while we are recognizing that we have to take more energy back from those around us and put them into ourselves, we are doing it with love. We are doing it under the influence of Pisces with the most Jesus-like energy. And this is so beautiful, and I'm so grateful that Mars is in Pisces at this time, because although it's sudden and it's unexpected and it's bold and it's hot and it's volatile and it's shocking and it's life-changing in so many ways, it's going to still feel like it comes from a place of love. So step into your spiritual self, step into your higher self, pray, meditate, journal, go into the Piscean energy of flow, of connection to the divine, making sure you are protecting your energy, make sure you are allowing yourself to be in a state of receiving, of openness, of love, sound healing, sound frequency, meditations, being around, spiritual energy, going to church, whatever that looks like for you is going to be so helpful to navigate the things that come up at the time of this eclipse, with Mars and Saturn and Neptune still being in the energy of Pisces. So, that is so much. I feel like I could go on and on with that, but I think you get the point. Like I said, there's not enough words in the three languages I speak to really understand this energy. There is so much information out there about the eclipses, on social media. So I wanted you to have this perspective because it is very important to understand what is happening in our relationships at this time. So let's move on. Let's get into the fun facts, my favorite part of each video, diving into what makes this new moon in Aries unique to 2024. Before I jump into that, I'm going to give you one really exciting announcement. And maybe you heard this announced on my other social media platforms, but as of the astrological new year, I have launched a daily astro weather forecast channel where you can subscribe on Telegram, and every single morning to your phone, you will get a voice memo of what is in the stars for that day and how to navigate it. I heard from so many of my clients and people in my life that they love watching my videos on YouTube, the month ahead forecasts. But let's say you watch the April forecast and it's the 15th, you completely forgot what I said. And so you want it in bite-sized pieces the day of and know what's coming up, how to navigate it. That is what I created this channel for. It's only $11.11. You can subscribe and every single morning have the astro weather in your hand, sent straight to your phone. I also give little bonus advice, some energy, some downloads, some channels. I give you more info around the time of the new and the full moons as things kind of get channeled and come up. So I'm so excited to launch this. I hope you'll join us. You can find it in the description box below. And if you are excited about it, let me know in the comments and I will see you in our Telegram chat. With that, let's get into the fun facts. I only have 3 this time because like I said, there's so much to talk about. We're going to narrow it down to the top 3 things that makes the new moon solar eclipse in Aries unique to 2024. And the first one is being the fact that it is conjunct Chiron. I mentioned that earlier and I want to dive in a little bit deeper right now. Chiron, the sun, the moon, all at 19 degrees and 24 minutes exact. This is not Chiron at 19 degrees and 19 minutes or 20 degrees conjunct the new moon. This is exact to the minute. This is so important because Chiron is our healer. It is the subconscious trauma, fears, wounds, triggers. It represents things from a childhood or a past life that need to come up to the surface to be acknowledged. And with Aries being inflammation and things erupting, right now, some unhealed wounds physically, emotionally, from childhood, relationally, are coming to the surface. So if things are getting hot and irritated, let them bubble up so you can focus and pay attention. Allow the new moon to be a time for new beginnings, to give attention to this, to heal it, to move forward, and allow the eclipse to inspire you with this awareness to start fresh, to start over, right? To set the stage for a new beginning. So powerful, powerful energy that is not only unique to a new moon in Aries, but it's also unique to the new moon total solar eclipse. The second fun fact is every time we have a new moon, it leads to a full moon. And during an ecliptic cycle, the new moon is a solar eclipse, and it typically in 6 months leads to a full moon lunar eclipse. However, this new moon total solar eclipse will not become a lunar eclipse in October. When we get to October, the full moon in Aries will be just that, a full moon in Aries, not ecliptic. So it doesn't bring this volatile, unexpected, life-changing external circumstances. It's a time for us to sit back and see the culmination, to see things coming to full circle, to see things in its entirety where we have awareness of what began right now. So just remember, whatever unexpected things come up, we have 6 months to integrate, to work with, to fit it into our new reality, into our new life, and we will see it at its peak culmination at the full moon in Aries in October, but not as an eclipse. Very unique. And the third fun fact is just acknowledging that this is the first new moon of the astrological year. And yes, the new moon in Aries is always the first new moon of the astrological year, every single year. But this year, it's an eclipse. So we have to take that into account. The astrological new year begins. We have a fresh start, a new beginning, welcoming in the spring equinox, welcoming in the new beginning. But it's not until the new moon that we really set those new intentions. We have this energy come in, it inspires us, the new moon happens, we set the intention, and we get going. This year, when we get to the new moon, it's not necessarily about setting an intention. It's about seeing things clearly, getting the universal guidance and redirection and saying, oh shit, okay, that's where I have to go. So be very careful this year. The astrological new year may have you thinking you need to go this way, and you start moving that way in your life, whether it's in your relationship, in your career, a business you want to launch, literally moving to another destination. You might feel that on March 19th and say, let's go. I'm so inspired. I feel the fire. I feel the passion. Taking my Mars warrior and doing something about it. And then the eclipse happens on the 9th and it's like, wrong. Redirect. This is actually where you need to go. Be open to adjustments because the new moon, the first new moon of the astrological year, is an eclipse, and so we may be completely redirected. Very unique to 2024. So in order to break all of that down a little bit deeper, let's dive into the specifics, pulling up the chart, letting us see what is going on in the sky. What are the other life coaches up to? Grab your birth chart. We can pull up your chart in comparison to what's going on in the sky and see if you have any planets or any celestial bodies at the degrees that we're going to talk about right now. So on the chart, of course, we're going to find the new moon. We can see it at 19 degrees, 24 minutes. Look at how many other celestial bodies are smashed into the energy of Aries, bringing us even more potent energy at the time of this eclipse. We can see Venus over here at 4 degrees, the North Node exact at 15 degrees, the Sun, the Moon, and of course, Chiron, 19 degrees, 24 minutes. We have Eris smashed in there as well, and I don't usually talk about that asteroid, but at the time of this eclipse, very potent energy. And then we have Mercury at 24 degrees, going retrograde, heading backwards, where he's gonna run into Eris, run into Chiron, run into the Moon, run into the Sun, run into Venus, and run into the North Node. So Mercury's on his way back to think, express, communicate, have a conversation about, relearn, revisit, renegotiate, redo all these things as he crosses back over all of these celestial planets that are activated at the time of this eclipse. So lots more to talk about that. Go check out my Mercury retrograde video. So wild to have a Mercury retrograde in the same exact zodiac sign as the eclipse, at the time of the eclipse, during the astrological new year, when the sun is there. It's just a lot. And it's not a coincidence. It's all meant to teach us and move us forward into the next chapter of our lives. So let's kind of start breaking down these planets one by one. When the sun is in Aries, like it is during the astrological new year, the entire Aries sun season, the sun in Aries brings heat, brings life, brings vitality of the Aries energy to us. So it's being more direct. It's being more bold, right? It dictates our energy. It dictates the way in which we move throughout our day. The sun dictates when we wake up and when we go to sleep. It releases melatonin. It brings us life. It brings vitamin D into our bodies. The sun and the energy that it's in the sky, Aries, is going to help us move through our day in an Aries way. So we are already feeling this energy as we move into this eclipse, being more bold and direct, having more life, having more chi, having more vitality, having more awareness of our needs, wants, and desires, and becoming more selfish. But then you add in the moon to that. The moon is our emotions, right? It allows us to be more bold, to be more direct, to be more connected to what we want in our emotional capacity and how we feel around other people. It's a little less filtered and a little bit more honest, right? Think of a toddler under 7. When they feel a certain way, they're going to tell you. It's going to erupt. It's going to come out like fire. We're all kind of feeling that again at this time, and that's going to affect our relationships. So lots of fire with the sun and the moon here being an eclipse with the North Node. Remember, North Node, North Star, the direction and the energy in which we're focusing on at this time, Aries. We already broke that down. We have Chiron. Chiron's the wounds, bringing up the traumas, bringing up the fears, bringing up the things to be healed. Being in Aries, what needs to be healed? Well, the body parts of Aries, again, is the head, the blood. It can be the liver because there's a lot of anger here and anger stored in the liver. So take some, herbs for the liver, some liver health. Make sure that you are doing things to preserve your blood and your chi and your stamina. Make sure you are physically moving your body. All of that may come up at this time, but also remember that Aries rules the inner child, our toddler. And so there might be some things you have to heal around that. There might be some masculine wounds, the warrior wounds that have to be healed. Also with that, we can see Venus in Aries as well. Now, Venus is how we love, right? It's what we love. It's how we make life more beautiful. And when Venus moves into Aries, we are looking at making life more beautiful by following our passions, by following our truth, by being a little bit more bold and a little bit more direct. And so again, that's going to add into this energy of like, what do I really love? And being a little bit more curious and being a little bit more explorative and being a little bit more open. And really, ultimately, at the end of the day, Venus in Aries allows us to love ourselves a little bit more. She's only in Aries for about 3 to 4 weeks a year. And that's the time when we get to really love, self-love, put our own oxygen mask on, self-care. So I'm really feeling this energy and I'm super grateful that it's happening at the time of this total solar eclipse. Lots in that energy, could dive deeper. Again, I'm trying to keep it summed up. We got so much going on here. Then we need to look at the ruler of this entire total solar eclipse. The ruler is Mars, and we see Mars in Pisces. This is a saving grace for us, like I mentioned earlier, because now we move with more compassion. We move with empathy. We take action out of deeper love for one another. This is so grateful at this time. But we see Saturn is right there saying, hold up. Are you being responsible? Are you being committed? Are you being disciplined? Do you really want this relationship? Is this direction you really want to go? Hit the brakes, slow down, do it in a slow and steady way. Make sure the foundation is strong. So we're being cross-checked a little bit, which is okay. We kind of need that at this time. But Mars wants to break free. Mars wants to really take action and make decisions. And so right now we're feeling like, I got to do something big. I got to move. I got to take action. Slow it down. Saturn says slow it down. So if something shows up around the eclipse in your relationships, in your life, I want you to pause, reflect, slow down, tap into your intuition, Pisces, tap into your higher self, Pisces, pray to God, Pisces, get that information intuitively, Pisces. And then I want you to Saturn, look at the foundation of it and ask yourself the tough questions of where do I need to go? So energy is all going to work together, right? But then sometimes you just have to make that impulsive decision and go for it. But we want to make sure we're connected to our source, to our God, before we do anything major. Now, something to note about Mars is he is moving forward and he will eventually get to the exact same point, 19 degrees, where this total solar eclipse is happening. And because he's the ruler of this eclipse, we have to make note of when that's actually happening in the cosmic timeline. That is happening on May 25th, which is a very big day, because on May 25th is when Jupiter leaves Taurus and he moves into the zodiac energy of Gemini. And so on that day, we have Mars coming back to the moment, to the cosmic space where this ecliptic energy happened, where these shifts, where these changes began, where this kaboom kind of happened to us and forced us to move forward in a different way, in a different direction. And then the day that Mars shows up and says, okay, you got it, you saw it, you adjusted, we explored it, we've kind of moved through the energy, now we're taking action. Now we have clarity. So from the 8th of April until May 25th, as Mars is moving closer to the moment of saying, okay, now act, now we're clear, now it's time to go, we have to understand from April 8th until May 25th, this is the time to just allow, to have the awareness, to accept and to understand and to tap into the divine and tap into the energy. Pisces, right? Which is our intuition, praying to God, connecting to something deeper, to looking at the vision ahead of us, to moving with love. We have to take that space before we act and initiate and do something about what happened at the time of the eclipse. So please don't forget that. Once Jupiter moves into Gemini, that is a shift of blessing, abundance, expansion, and growth through communication, through conversation, through asking questions, through curiosity. Jupiter in Gemini is going to allow us to articulate and express and communicate and ask and find more information easier and with flow. And we're going to need that in relationships. So right now we're just finding Jupiter in Taurus, what makes me feel safe and secure? What makes me feel like I am stable? What is something I want to fixate on for the next chapter of my life? And we see Jupiter getting very close to Uranus. Within 12 days of this eclipse, the ecliptic portal will kind of close a week later, and then immediately this lottery aspect is going to happen with Jupiter and Uranus. Very important to understand that whatever needs to shift, whatever needs to change, whatever is coming up, whatever is being adjusted in our life is going to lead to the lottery aspect within 12 days of something beautiful, expansive, growth oriented, unexpected, life changing for our future is coming in to replace what needs to be shifted and changed. And it's all going to happen within 2 weeks. So allow all of that energy to happen and unfold. Eclipses are times, remember, to just be present and to allow the experience. Let the chips fall where they may. And it's going to feel big because we're coming out of the lunar eclipse in Libra, the full moon, and then the new moon, and all these shifts and adjusts and balances in relationship and life. And it feels like everything is swirling around and you don't know where to go. We have time to figure it out. That's why we have 6 months between eclipse cycles, because it gives us time to integrate the change, to make the decisions, to dictate our life in a different way. So it happens suddenly and it happens quickly and time speeds up around eclipses, but we don't have to do something about it right away. Give it time, give it space. The lottery aspect is on the 20th of April. Mars doesn't come to the moment and says, okay, green light, go, make a decision, move forward until May 25th. And remember, Mercury is retrograde this entire time. So there's more information, there's more conversations, there's more renegotiating, there's more and more we have to do until Mercury is completely done with this entire retrograde energy in Aries, which won't happen until the middle of May. So lots going on. Give it some time and space. That's all I can say. So with that, let me give you some rituals and activities you can do around the time of this new moon in Aries total solar eclipse to navigate this energy. The first thing is be present. I want you to be present. Remember, this ecliptic energy is potent for a week before up to a week after, so new things can really start happening. It doesn't mean on April 8th, exactly at the moment of the eclipse, that your whole life changes. It can come suddenly and through little things and through little things. So just be present, be open, be in the space of one thing at a time, okay? One thing at a time. Aries can lead to accidents, right? Toddlers hurt themselves very quickly because they act without thinking. And so we can really be under this influence of like accidents happening. And I don't mean physically. You can accidentally say something you don't mean that changes your relationship forever. You can accidentally do something at work that impacts your job. You can accidentally, do something to your neighbor that irritates or upsets them that you didn't mean to because you weren't present. So please be present at the time of this eclipse. It's going to be so important. And also paying attention to what's coming in or what's being reflected to you so you can have more awareness and understanding of where to go in the future when the eclipse energy closes. Number 2, doing an I am ritual. If you joined us for the Astrological New Year event that I hosted on March 17th, we did an I am ritual together where we visualize ourselves in all 12 zodiac sun seasons of the astrological year, seeing ourselves show up in all the ways in which we want to be for the next year. If you didn't get to join in on that, I will have a replay of that you can participate in our subscription on Telegram, so you can catch up. You can do it on there in your own time. So again, join our subscription and you'll find the I am ritual. But if you want something to just start with, you can do a little journaling of who I am, disconnected from all the labels that I have or attachments I have to other people. You can start there. And the third and final thing I would do around the time of this eclipse is move your body. Aries is fire. It's the warrior. It's chi. It's stamina. It's moving. It's the spark of life. And so in order to keep our blood flowing and to keep our chi alive and to keep moving through the energy of change, physical movement is going to be so important. So whatever you like, that could be yoga, it could be Pilates, it could be Tai Chi, it could be running through your neighborhood, it could be bouncing on a trampoline, it could be playing with your kids at the park. I don't care. Move your body to move the energy as it's coming in so quickly. So let me know in the comments below where this eclipse is happening in your life, how you are feeling and moving through this energy. Do you have any questions? What are you most nervous about? Let me know as we're all shifting and moving through this energy together. Don't forget to like and subscribe over here on YouTube. If you're interested in astrology and relationship content, I will be putting out a podcast here very shortly, breaking down relationships specifically in birth charts and how to move through different places in your chart, with the people in your life, whether it's parents and children, siblings, friends, business partners, romantic partners. I'll be breaking all of it down for you. It's something I've been working on behind the scenes, as Libra is my 12th house. So working behind the scenes to launch this thing. I'm excited to share it with you. So make sure you like and subscribe. I'll be posting those content videos on here on this channel. And also you can follow me over on TikTok, where I do more short format videos, breaking down the current cosmic weather, uploading what's in the stars, talking about relationships and other ways in which you can apply astrology into your daily life. So I can see you over there. And with that, let's go ahead and dive into the rising sign breakdown. Remember, your rising sign is the most important part of your chart. It's going to give you the most information. If you don't know your rising sign, you can watch based on your sun sign. And we're going to be looking at the house that Aries rules for you, because this is the area of life where the eclipse is happening, and the new moon and the new beginning, and the areas in which you may need to rearrange or shift the relationships in your life, and ask how you can move in a new direction that feels good to yourself, and stepping more into what you want and need and desire. Aries risings, this new moon total solar eclipse happening in your first house is really asking you to step in to who you are. This is time for you to be bold, brave, and fearless, and show up in your avatar, your ideal version of yourself. How does she or he dress? Where do you work? What do you do? What kind of relationships are you in? I want you to think that you are playing the game of Sims, and you are creating the ultimate version of you, the higher version of you, the main character version of you. All the aspects and pieces of you, I want you to take time, because they are coming in, and the universe is asking you to step into this space. This is so powerful for you, and allow yourself to shift and change. You don't need to show up how other people expect you to anymore. You don't need to wait for the approval of others to change your wardrobe or cut your hair or dress a certain way. This is time for you to be you, for the next version of you, the higher self version of you. Good luck, Aries risings. This is so powerful for you. Taurus risings, this puts this new moon total solar eclipse in your 12th house. And so we are really looking at new beginnings and new fresh starts that is related to your energetic, mental, and spiritual spaces. And so relationships in your life that are holding you back from you stepping into your desired spiritual beliefs, people in your life that are self-sabotaging you, that are causing you to do habits and behaviors and rituals that you don't really want to do, like drinking alcohol or overspending, or maybe people that talk to you in a negative way and it's affecting your mindset and the way that you think about yourself. This is really looking at all relationships in your life and how do they support the aspects of you that are just as impactful than the physical. So there could be relationships coming in your life right now, new relationships that help you think clearer, have a better mindset, that make you feel better about yourself, that inspire you to be more spiritual, that inspire you to heal parts of yourself. There could be karmic relationships that are ending or coming in to help you heal parts of yourself in your past. So lots of newness that is kind of happening behind the scenes for you, and people to help you heal these aspects of yourself. Gemini risings, this new moon total solar eclipse happening in your 11th house of friendships. So we're looking at relationships in your life, having new beginnings, new fresh starts with people that are more aligned with you. This is about you stepping into your main character energy and how you want to lead. Aries in the 11th house, when it comes to community and friendships and social circles, you're meant to be a leader. You're meant to step up to the tribe and say, I am, this is who I am, and this is how I'm going to lead. The warrior, I'll go first. Let me show you how. This is really asking you to do something in a big way for the people around you or the people that you connect with. But you first have to step into who you really want to be. Get clear on your avatar. Get clear on who you want to serve. And so there might be people coming to you in your life right now saying, hey, can you help me with this? Can you help me with that? And asking you and forcing you up to be the leader. And to put your oxygen mask on and make sure you're ready to lead. This is so powerful, and pay attention at this time how you're being called to step up in your friendship groups in a larger way than ever before. Cancer risings, this puts this full moon total solar eclipse in Aries in your career sector. This is so exciting. This is such an impactful, life-changing opportunity in your purpose, in your legacy, in the title you want to be called. Cancer risings, this is a time to shift your entire main character energy, your identity, your avatar in your professional life. Who do you want to be known as? Who do you want to serve? What do you want to be called? This is a time where you might be getting opportunities or redirection. You might lose a job to get a new job. You might be changing titles. You might be having an entire mental breakdown of who you are and how you want to show up and the purpose and the legacy you want to create. Allow this eclipse to push you in the direction of where you're going and how you're going to serve and how you're going to lead and how that is going to be impactful to what you're known for in this world. Super exciting. So look at relationships that are guiding you and helping you get to where you're trying to go in your career life. Leo risings, this puts us new moon total solar eclipse in your 9th house. So we are looking at relationships that are going to help you expand, help you get out of your comfort zone, teach you something, bring you wisdom, bring you life experience. That's going to allow you to elevate and expand your consciousness. So look at people in your life that are showing up that want to take you on an adventure, that want to travel with you, that want to take you under their wing and allow you to be their mentee. This is about really opening up your arms and saying, who can take me to the next level? And welcoming that in. And maybe it's a romantic relationship where someone has like expertise or experience in something that you're very curious about and you want to learn more about, and letting them kind of take the lead. This may also be in career aspects where someone asks you to take a higher education, up level your, your degree in some level, and being open to that and expanding your mind in big, big ways. So see what opportunities come in at this time that help you kind of go from here mentally to here through life experience and expanding your comfort zone. Virgo risings, this puts this new moon total solar eclipse in your 8th house. So we are getting opportunities right now to become more intimate, more vulnerable, and more connected to others than ever before. So we might be going into joint finance situations, sharing a loan with someone, sharing a debt with someone, joining household incomes with somebody, having roommates come in and them helping you pay your bills. We might be looking at becoming more vulnerable and intimate with a romantic partner, sharing your secrets, sharing your vulnerabilities. This may be about you kind of expanding and exploring your sexual life and allowing yourself to be more open. There might be more experiences that come at this time that allow you to go a little deeper and a little bit into discomfort and into the spaces that you like to hide. But people are coming right now to open you and push you out of the darkness into the light and be more okay with your skeletons in the closet and become more connected, deeper with someone than ever before. So if you are being forced into this, sharing a budget, sharing finances, someone supporting you, someone investing in you, someone loaning you money, like be open to it right now. This is leading to something bigger and better that you don't even know of yet. So be patient and allow the experience. Libra risings, this truly is a powerful eclipse for your relationships because this new moon total solar eclipse is happening in your 7th house. This is your relationship house. This is your connection to other people. So we are looking at all the people in your life and all the relationships in your life that you are connected in a bond with. We are looking at romantic partners, marriage partners, deep, intimate friendships, people you collaborate with, people you are in business with. Who are those people that you are connected to deeper, deeper, deeper? Because right now that could be revealing something and bringing you a new opportunity. There could be someone coming into your life that you want to go deeper with. This could be a new marriage partner. This could be a new business opportunity. This could be someone that comes in and all of a sudden you meet them and they become like the deepest friend you've ever had. This is so exciting. But again, be present, be aware. There might be, relationships that need a large change at this time that allow you to shift. But remember, your goal is to stay into your main character. Be true and authentic to yourself, your needs, your desires, and your wants, so that all the relationships in your life, people love you for you. Not because of what you do for them, because of who you are. So this is going to be so important because relationships are going to be heavy at this time for you, but you have to stay in your own main character energy and put your oxygen masks on. This is going to be a big, big test for you at the time, Libra risings. Scorpio risings, this puts this new moon total solar eclipse in your 6th house of health and wellness. So we are looking at all relationships that are going to support your overall well-being. And there could be people coming into your life that are going to help you on a day-to-day level that's going to allow you to achieve optimal wellness. We are looking at doctors, coaches, mentors, therapists, new relationships that you're going to form with people that are going to take your health from here to here, and being open and asking the questions. Remember, Mercury is retrograding through here. So you are learning so much about your health right now. You are learning so much about your routines and your daily life. There is an energy of work and co-working here too. Is your work-life balance optimal for your overall well-being? There is so much, and the connections that you have to other people are either going to help your health or they're going to hurt your health. And you're being asked to assess that right now and seek out new relationships, new people, new moon, new beginnings that are going to elevate you and bring your well-being to a whole nother level. And honestly, with it being an eclipse, just pay attention because they're probably lined up and they're coming to you. Sagittarius risings, this puts this new moon total solar eclipse in your 5th house, your fun house. This is so exciting. So there are new opportunities and new beginnings and new fresh starts of people coming into your life to have fun with. This could also be a time where you might be getting pregnant or a new child is coming into your life in some way to change the dynamic, to change the energy. But remember, this is Aries. So this is about you getting really true to yourself and prioritizing your fun, what you like to do, your hobbies, your games, your entertainment. What do you do on a day-to-day basis to feel alive, right? To feel joy. And so finding people you can do those things with and kind of removing the people that don't bring joy to your life, that don't have the same hobbies as you. This could be joining in on a new sports team. This could be going to a concert. This could be starting a new passion project or creative project with a friend, with somebody that aligns in the same way of having fun as you do. So big, exciting energy. Try to have more fun and see who's coming into your life that kind of gets you out of your comfort zone to have more fun. Capricorn risings, this puts this new moon total solar eclipse in your 4th house. This is the area of life of home and family. So we are looking at new beginnings and new fresh starts around the home life and around the family you were born into and the family you've created. And so right now, with it being an eclipse, there could be these sudden changes in your dynamic within the home or where you live or the energy that you want to have within your home. So we're really looking at the family unit and the people that you consider family, changes that need to be made, shifts that need to be adjusted, energy that is being exchanged within the home, and who needs to take care of themselves. So an example would be maybe you're the one who does all the chores. You clean the dishes, you do the laundry, and now you're saying, no more, main character, you take care of your stuff, I'll take care of my stuff. Literally, you keep your room clean, I'll keep my room clean. I do my dishes, you need to do your dishes. And maybe there's this expectation of everyone needing to step up a little bit more and take responsibility for their own backyard when it comes to the family and your home life. But you have to be the one to take action and to initiate. So pay attention to what's kind of showing up in these areas of life with the eclipse and how you need to take action and move forward. Aquarius risings, this puts this new moon total solar eclipse in your 3rd house. So this is your area of life, of your mental health and you expressing, speaking, communicating, and learning with other people. So we're looking at teachers, we're looking at siblings, we're looking at neighbors, we're looking at people that you learn things from, like your favorite podcast host, or maybe someone that is your mentor at the current time. These are the type of people in your life that might start showing up to teach you, to expand your mind. Remember, Mercury is retrograde here. So right now, the people around you are giving you more guidance, more wisdom, more knowledge, more data, more facts. This is a very mental time for you. So I really invite you to be more present, to be more open to the information that's coming in, to allow yourself to download and receive the messages and the communication that is being gifted and given to you at this time, because that's going to really help your future. So be present and learn as much as you can at this time. Be open. Pisces risings, this new moon total solar eclipse is happening in your 2nd house. This is your money moon. This is a money moon, new beginning on steroids. This is a total new beginning, total solar eclipse. And so we're really looking at relationships that are tied to you financially. More specifically, who is investing in you and the sense of who's paying your bills. Is it your significant other? Is it your boss? Is it your clients? Like, where is this money coming in and how are you spending this money? This is a new beginning. This is a new fresh start. This is calling in the shifts and the changes necessary to have the budget, to have the income that you desire in the next chapter. But there might be some blackouts that need to happen to have fresh new beginnings. So really pay attention at this time and staying in your main character and saying, this is how I want to make money. And it might be bold and it might be more direct than ever before. This might be asking for the sale, learning to be paid in the way that you want to be paid. There might be some healing that needs to be done at this time with Chiron present around your money wounds. So really looking at the relationships in your life that you have tied to money and the shifts in which need to happen for you to get paid more. I hope that makes sense, my Pisces risings. Let me know in the comments below if you have any questions about that.